This is the Resurrected Hobbyist with part 12 of my long play feedback video on pairs. Last time we left Dragon and Ricardo sitting in a tree, having a sort of, kind of informal, not really date. So, let's see where it goes. Ricardo nods at me, looking up at the stars. His voice is soft, and I hear something else in his voice that I can't quite put my finger on. Sometimes I feel like there's a mountain between us. Ricardo? It's nothing. Never mind. You're welcome. The world seems to slow down, letting us take the night at our own pace as the cars go by. The moon above us slowly making its creeping journey across the sky. At some point, I'm not sure how long it's been, I think I noticed that Ricardo's hand has moved a little closer to mine. So again, Dragon strikes me as I'm gonna, leap first. So I think she would be a bit more forward. So, take his hand. I swallow, then look away from his hand, willing it to move despite my heart pounding in my chest. My hand drifts over to his, hooking my pinky around his. I see him look at me, but I don't dare look. I'm assuming that's supposed to be don't dare look back. When he pulls away, the disappointment surges across my chest, until I feel his fingers tentatively intertwined with mine. I let out a breath I didn't know I was holding. He must have heard me because I feel Ricardo's hand giving me a comforting squeeze. I close my eyes. I just want to rest here with him for a little while. The sound of the city washes over me. I sit back comfortably and listen to the crickets chirping, the cars rushing by, the general rustling of the leaves in the breeze. I don't know how the future will go, or how long we'll be with each other. Being a hero is a tough job, and even our teams won't last forever. After all, one day some of the team could be killed. We could be transferred to different parts of the world. Even if we did manage to stick together, we can't save ourselves from getting older. If something happens to Ricardo, I put it out of my head. With the two of us together, I can't imagine anything going wrong. Huh? Ricardo shakes me gently by the shoulder. Carmelita, you fell asleep. I yawn drowsily, then cling closer to him. Yeah, it's nighttime. We should get back. I know I should stand, but I can't find the strength in me. I can't carry you out of the tree. You'll have to climb down yourself. I crack open my eyes, rubbing the sleep from them. It's tempting to lean back against the tree trunk and stay up there, sleeping. But when I open my eyes the second time, it feels like 5 minutes have passed. It has been more than that, though, since when I open my eyes again, Ricardo is on the ground, looking up at me impatiently. He gestures for me to come down. I swing myself out of the branches and make my way to the ground. As soon as he touches down, I wrap my arms around his neck and jump up into his arms, tossing the empty milkshake cup into a nearby trash can. What milkshake cup? Ricardo takes a few staggering steps, but he winces at the weight, my sleepy body just a little too heavy for him. I open my eyes and tease him mildly, rubbing my eyes. Naturals. They just don't make them like they used to. All this from a person still in the throes of sleep? More mouthy than expected. His voice is level, but that doesn't change the fact that he was seriously straining. I smile and bump him lightly in the arm. Excuse me. Come on, Twiggy, let's go home. We stroll slowly back through the park, wanting to get back into bed, but soon. At the same time, We stroll slowly back through the park, wanting to get back into bed soon, but at the same time, not really in any rush to get there. I'm a little too sleepy to be trusted with directions, so I follow Ricardo and trust that he'll lead me the right way back home. Okay, we just turned down this dark alley that has no other exit. I'm kidding. I think we all go a little off course. Could be he's secretly just as tired as I am. But we finally turn a corner and I'm reoriented. One of the entrances to the base is right there. Just as I'm about to step into the crosswalk, Ricardo grabs my arm and pulls me into the alleyway. I was kidding about the alleyway. What? What is it? Look over there at the bus station. I squint and try to make it out, but it's a little too far away and the street lamps aren't quite bright enough for me to see what he's talking about. I don't see anything. Over there, by the station, there's a guy sitting down. Don't you recognize him? Said James. The distant bench swims into focus, and I realize I do. Is that? And it is. It's definitely the guy from the pastry shop. Ricardo, thinking I still didn't recognize him, mutters under his breath. What was his name? Artemis? Arthur? Right. Oh, okay, it's not James. I was expecting to be James. I stand there, my feet rooted in place. Ricardo looks at me. Well? Well, what? Well, now's the perfect chance for you to complete the mission. Go over there and talk to him. What, now? But we're... I trail off. It seems strange to just leave like this. Look, this is a golden opportunity. You have to follow through with these things. If you want to get certified, then you can't do things halfway. The morning's catastrophe hits me. Honestly, I can hardly believe it was only this morning. I stumble through excuses. What if I mess up again? I'm not ready, I just can't, but you can. Dragon. Hearing my tag from his lips make me lift my eyes to meet his. I believe in you, and because I believe in you, I know you can do this. I look between Arthur and Ricardo, and can't help but feel like I'm choosing between them. Okay, so, again, Dragon strikes me as the kind of person who's going to jump and then think about where I'm going to land. But she just got, kind of a splash of cold water about the mission, so that's going to be fresh and forefront in her mind. It's not something that she kind of pushed off to the side yet. So I'm going to err on the side that she's got her head a little more in line with operation right now than her heart. And she's going to try and finish the mission. It's weird to get all flirty with someone while I should be with Ricardo, but I want to be a hero. And I'm not the only one. I know that Ricardo, at least, wants me to be one too. He's always been there to support me, and I want him to feel like that support was worth his time, and mine. I straighten, swallowing hard. I'll do it. I'll go and talk to him. Good. I just need... I know. Ricardo shuts his eyes and concentrates on creating my old illusion from before. I try to wait patiently, but the anticipation makes my knees shake. I need something more than reassuring words and that little smile he does. I need strength. I slowly reach for him, taking his face in both of my hands. He opens his eyes immediately. What are you... But the words fade away as he sees just how close my face is to his. Can I kiss you? He stares into my eyes, and the way he glances at my lips tells me that he doesn't really want to say no. But he doesn't say yes. Why? I don't have the words. His voice sounds unsure. This isn't like you, so I'm scared. Alone. I'm not strong enough, but I feel like being with you will give me the strength I need. Okay, that's a nice bit of character insight there. He looks at me. The looks in his eyes gentle. Carmelita, you already have the strength you need. You don't need to do something like this. But what if I want to? He lifts his shoulders slightly and doesn't respond. but he doesn't move away either. I pull him lower so that his face is the same level as mine, and press my lips to his. Ricardo doesn't move at first, but then I feel his hand trail up my back to pull me a little closer. My mouth thaws, and I can feel his lips warmly, gingerly stroking mine. Okay. I wish that I'd thought to kiss him earlier. Is this what it means to change? It's funny. There's a tingle in my stomach, but it feels different. A good different. I don't feel nervous at all. Ricardo straightens, and when our eyes meet, I grin at him. He gives me a little smile in return, then sighs, his voice light and mildly teasing. You know, it's one thing to try to be all mature about this, doing all this reconfiguring of our relationship to understand how to make us work. It's another to watch you run off from our date to go flirt with some other guy and make me help you do it. Charming, Ricardo. Very charming. He lifts an eyebrow at me, but I just look at him. What are you saying? Oh, just that I would love some sign of appreciation for the sacrifices I'm making here. I lean in again, this time feeling bolder. Ricardo leans forward in a way I would call eager, if I didn't know Ricardo well. When I get close, instead of kissing me again, I press my cheek against his, speaking low enough in his ear for him to hear me. Don't you have some concentrating to do? I catch a flash of his teeth, his laughter silent as he steps back and shuts his eyes again. This time I manage to wait out the entire process without messing him up. Thank you, Glamour. He nods once. Ariande? I swear to God, I'm going to learn how to say this name. Actually, I'm going to make a note about that real quick. The name of my cover makes me smile. I'll be right back. Stay out of sight, okay? But I didn't even have to say it. He's already gone. I cross the street and head towards the bus station where Arthur is sitting. Hey, Arthur, right? Ricardo looks at me, smiling. It went well. So she's back? Is that what I just saw? Okay. I tilt my head curiously. How? You kept out of sight, right? He laughs. It's the strings. Sometimes when we're connected, he trails off. It's complicated, and I don't know how it works yet. Sorry. Oops. Okay, well, will you tell me eventually? I know I don't really get it, but I try. He nods. Of course, I know you do, Carmelita. Ricardo holds out his hand for a high five. When I reach out to slap my palm against his, my hand is back to normal. I didn't even notice the change. Come on, let's go back home. I follow him further down the alleyway, trailing my claws against the dirty wall. Doing a little Freddy Krueger impersonation, huh? Just getting up to a little foul-playing evening, maybe? No, just teasing. The gentle scraping sound is soothing somehow, at least to me, but not to the sleep-deprived teenagers. We make our way through the maze of alleyways, crossing over onto the WPP's property line, through the woods, and weaving in until I can finally see Ricardo's window just ahead of us. I pick up my pace a little. Not to be left behind, Ricardo speeds up to match me, so we're walking side by side. Our hands swing at our sides as we walk, and once or twice, our fingertips brush together. I let out a quiet sigh. I know him well enough to notice both the sadness and confusion in his eyes. Eventually he breaks my gaze, staring sullenly at the ground, a half-frown solid on his mouth that I can't help but mirror. My heart feels like an even bigger mass of emotions than it was before. Tonight's attempt aside, I feel like my relationship with Ricardo has barely shifted, and not in a good direction. We walked the rest of the way home in silence. Even if I knew what to say, I don't think I could find the words. I'm too drowsy to stay awake. As soon as I get back to the dorm, I give Ricardo a quick wave and hustle back to my room, feigning to sleep the moment I hit the sheets. Not that it lasts long. Hey. Excuse me. I crack open my eyes. Am we in the right room? Surprisingly, the light outside, even though it feels like I've barely slept. I check the wall clock. It's only been 4 hours? Ricardo, what is it? I need to talk to you about something. I shut my eyes. It can't wait. He doesn't respond. I don't think so. I drag myself upwards and open my eyes again. Are we okay? I guess so. Why? Rubbing the sleep from my eyes, I look at him. He looks uncomfortable and determined at the same time. Like this isn't really a conversation he wants to have, but that he will by night's end. Something about this isn't right. Carmelita, do you... I look at him blankly. Do you really love me? Ooh, dropping the big question there, huh, Ricky? The question sounds almost alien to me. Yeah, well, of course I do. I don't know how I'd do this every day without you. Instead of making him relieved, Ricardo looks even more bothered. See, you say stuff like that, but no matter how I look at it, something about this doesn't feel right. I know you care about me, but I don't feel like you love me. Not in the way that I love you. Oh boy. Sometimes I feel like we're just kind of there with each other, or like you want me around, but you don't want me, as a man, I mean. I yawn sleepily, my eyelids drifting shut. If I didn't want to keep you here, I wouldn't have asked you in the first place. What? When I open my eyes again, Ricardo looks startled. Carmelita, be honest with me. When you asked me to date you, did you say ask for any other reason other besides you actually wanting to date me too? Oh no, I didn't mean to say that out loud. I didn't want to lie to him. I care about him, really, I do. But the question is too direct for me, is too direct to not say it. The answer I know he doesn't want to hear. His voice is quiet. Tell me the truth. Well, the moment I say that word, Ricardo's face goes expressionless. I trail off, but he looks at me, waiting. Maybe I haven't been totally honest with you. Maybe it's true that I don't like you the same way you like me. When I asked you to date me, it was like I said, I couldn't get the idea out of my head that maybe it would be better for you, for the both of us, if we dated. It's not like I don't like you at all. Yeah, boy, that's gonna hurt. I can see his eyes searching mine for something. I don't know what. He looks down, disappointed. So, that's all, huh? Well, it's clear to me that I'm the only one invested in making this work. So if you already knew your feelings weren't changing, then why have you been doing this at all? If you didn't ask to date me because you really wanted us to become something more, then why did you? Am I really supposed to believe it was just an idea stuck in your head? I know you better than that, Carmelita. What's really going on? There's a burning knot in my throat. I swallow hard and shake my head. I know you don't like being a hero, Ricardo. You never have. And I just thought once we finished our training, you would stay. You just leave. Leave me alone. And even if I don't feel that way about you, I can't imagine what my life would be like without you in it. I thought maybe if we were dating, you would have more of a reason to stay. You wouldn't leave. Ricardo is quiet for a long, long time. He stares at the floor and refuses to meet my gaze. At last, he speaks, and I almost wish he hadn't. Do you even know me at all, Carmelita? His voice is completely cold, but it doesn't match the anger in his eyes. Oh boy. I can tell I've messed up. Badly. Oh yeah. You're right. I would never have stayed just to be a hero. I was staying to protect you, as your friend. I never would have left you alone just because you didn't have romantic feelings for me. Despite his tone, I see a glimmer of hope in his words. You wouldn't? No, I wouldn't. Carmelita, I've always liked you. What do you think I've been doing all this time? I have always been protecting you to the extent that people in this stupid facility called me a dog, but I did it anyway. And I didn't do it to get something out of you or because I was in love with you. I did it because I made a promise to your parents that I would keep you safe. I made that promise because if I didn't, they would have never let you leave the ranch. What? I don't believe that. You don't have to. The proof is that I'm here with you, even though I would have preferred to be a normal guy doing a normal job. But I did it for you, my best friend in the whole wide world. I place my hand on his, but he pulls away as if the touch of my hand burns him. Ricardo, there has to be some kind of misunderstanding. Please, let's just talk this out and... Talk it out? I'm done with talking it out. Talking about my feelings is an effort I make for friends. And Carmelita, you are not my friend. Not anymore. Ouch. My friend, the Carmelita I grew up with, is gone. She would have never manipulated me like this. When you did this, you only thought about yourself. He backs away from me. Learning all the skills of a spy, I guess you finally become the person you always wanted to be. Dragon. I mean, I thought I was the illusionist. But look at that. You've done a fine job. 2 months, and this whole thing was just a lie. No, it wasn't. I scramble for an excuse, desperate for words that will calm him down. Yeah, good luck finding those. He stands, putting distance between us. What else have you lied to me about? Am I really even your friend? Do you even care about me at all? I feel like I've been punched in the chest. Ricardo, of course I care about you. You've always been my best friend. I'm not so sure anymore. Forget about friend. What kind of a person would do something like this? Did you think about what I want for my future? Did you care enough to consider me at all? I desperately try to explain myself, but the words just won't come. I eventually give up, staying silent. So that's all you have to say for yourself, huh? A whole lot of nothing. He stares at me, angry, shocked, and I think I can see wetness in his eyes. I try one last time, my voice small. Ricardo, please. But Ricardo just shakes his head, unwilling to even look at me. Ricardo... He doesn't look back. Your mission report was received. You're dismissed. Thank you, analyst. You're welcome, Dragon. Well done on achieving today's goals. You've done remarkably well since your certification. Is something wrong? I was just wondering if you'd gotten any new intel on Glamour. Checking. I'm sorry, Dragon. Still nothing. Of course. I must once again advise that you put it out of your mind. There is no way to track where he's gone, or even what he looks like. You're not going to find him unless he wants to be found. Yeah, I know. Thank you, analyst. You're welcome, Dragon. I look down at my hands. Even though it's my skin, it looks foreign without Ricardo's glamour. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and end it there. Well, that got deep pretty darn quick. I will be honest, I feel like Ricardo's confrontation with Carmelita, it's out of scale with what transpired before it. I don't feel like there's sufficient build-up for the reaction that he is presenting. And I do want to be clear, I don't feel that Ricardo is wrong to feel that he's been manipulated. But I think this ties back to the situation with my not being sure of their dating status, their relationship status. Again, have they been dating for a few months and they're sort of serious? Were they waiting to go on a real first date? Was it we've been dating for a couple weeks? Like, what was it? I mean, obviously they've been friends for a long time, and I got that. But it's the couple part of it that I'm unclear on. The only other thing that I really want to mention, when Dragon came back from profiling Arthur, it was a very sudden step, but no indication of, passage of time or that she had finished her mission. It was just, oh, hi, it's Arthur, right? And then back to Ricardo. Oh, why is Ricardo? Oh, I'm done the mission. Okay. I mean, the way everything was presented, it seemed more like there was a situation happening and Ricardo was coming out to help me deal with it. But that's not the situation we got. But yeah. So go ahead and join me for the next part in Pairs.